Today in this video, we're going to be looking at ND filters to see if they reduce the jello effect on an FPV drone. Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I do drone and tech reviews. Last week, I produced a video talking about mounting Go 2 onto an Emax Tinyhawk FPV drone. I've noticed one major flaw, and it was jello in the footage. And I mostly get it when I'm recovering. Even with the Insta360 Studio and the flow state stabilization, I still was getting jello. First, we're gonna look at my configuration that I'm using, Telesin ND filters, and then we're gonna take it out for a flight. Just a general disclaimer, I was not paid or sponsored by any of the products today. If you're interested in any of these products, I'll leave a link in the description box below. In this experiment, we're using this. It's a modified Tinyhawk 2 Go race. It's running slightly larger motors, and then it's also running the Insta360 Go mount. As mentioned, we're going to be looking at this Insta360 Go 2. So 16:9, 1080, 24 frames per section, linear mode, standard. I usually fly this less than 15 minutes, so this is fine and done. Unlike I think the Go 1, you couldn't mount ND filters. ND is acronyms stand for neutral density. The higher the number, the more tint there is. So to mount the ND filters onto the Insta360 Go 2, it's as simple as just twisting off the stock lens guard. Let's talk about the Telesin lens filter kit. Comes this neat little plastic case. I bought it mainly because it was cheap. It comes with 4 different filters, a polarizing lens, a ND8, ND16 and ND32. ND8 is the lightest tint on the lens and ND32 is the darkest. So just the installation is super simple. All you do is just twist off the old one. You can rotate counterclockwise, lefty loosey, righty tighty, and put whatever filter you want on. Definitely have a cleaning cloth on hand because you don't know if they might have specks inside or outside the lens. And ooh, I am horrible at this, dropping stuff already. They're both pretty slippery, so just watch out when you install them. I feel like it doesn't rotate as much as the stock lens guard from Insta360 Go. It's maybe like a half turn less. As for comparisons with the Insta360 Go lens guard, the overall diameter size is the same. I noticed that the Telesin lens is actually taller slightly. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the image stabilization. It's pretty secure when you have it on. Enough chattering, I'm just going to go fly now. Alright, so I have the battery on. First flight with the Tinyhawk 2 without the ND filter. Alright, so this is the Go 2 flight with the stock lens guard. And you can see towards the center of the screen where the jello is. And it's pretty apparent, especially when I drop out of the sky. Yeah, don't worry, my neighbors are cool with me flying here. But yeah, you can pretty much see in any or throttle up configurations, you can pretty much see that the vibrations are coming through the camera. So I put this ND32 on. This does stick out just a tiny bit more than the stock lens. So hopefully I don't crash. So again, this is the ND32. Alright, so now I'm taking off with the ND32. And when reviewing this footage, I noticed that you can definitely see the filter border showing up on the corners there. Due to stabilization, you can see it's totally working. I don't see as much jello, but the vignetting you see or the border from the camera is definitely distracting in the footage. But you can see in the center of the screen there's huge improvement using the ND32. Overall, I like it. The colors look pretty good on the standard profile. The ND16, since it's a bright sunny day, it's roughly about 1:30. It's super bright out here, but yeah, I put new batteries in each one to make sure everything's all kosher, and then we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm flying with the ND16 now, and right off the bat, you can see there's no border on this specific lens. I'm not sure why, but also I don't see that much jello, but you can definitely see some glitches. It does have some jerkiness compared to the ND32. I'm gonna put these together, side-by-side comparison. Obviously, I tried to fly the same flight path as much as possible, or the same maneuver. Definitely a huge improvement over the stock configuration. So even at bright sunlight, the ND16 seems to do a really good job, in fact. My test for today, I flew the Zero, or the stock filter, the ND32 and the ND16. The dog is barking. So let me review the footage and I'll get back to you guys. One of the main questions I have flying ND filter is, what ND filter do you use for whatever condition? And honestly, it's just kind of a guess and check. If it's a super bright day, my suggestion is use the ND32. And as the sun starts setting, let's say sunset, go to the lower one, which is the ND8. You can always check using your Android or Apple app. So here's some pros. First and foremost, it works. You know, for $20, helps improve your footage, but there is some caveats. It's very lightweight solution, not very technical. You just slap it on there. Luckily, the Insta360 Go 2 is a small camera, so the ND filters are also small. Very portable, just stick in your case, bring it with you all the time. Luckily, this kit comes with multiple ND filters for the price. Some cons is you really don't know if ND filters are gonna work for your specific drone. In this case, it worked out. It's kind of a guess and check. There's no indicator to tell you which is the best one to use. Some vignetting does occur. You can see some of the border. So you may just have to crop in your footage. Some recommendations right off the bat: if you're brave enough, I would suggest you tuning your quad. This is a much heavier configuration than stock because of the camera, the battery, and also the heavier motors. As mentioned, on brighter days, use the darkest ND filter you have, maybe ND32, even an ND64. Depending what you have, just try it out. Definitely look at different mounts. Some of the vibrations might not get all absorbed into the TPU itself. I've seen some people have soft mounts where they have gummies in between. Another recommendation, look at other ND filters. If you're gonna look at these Telesin ND filters, I would definitely consider filming at maybe 2.7K so you have some ability to punch in. So as a conclusion, did ND filters help? Yes. Would I recommend this product? Maybe not, just mainly because of the vignetting, but it does work. If you're on a budget and looking for ND filters, check out these Telesin ones. So that's all I have for today, and see you guys next time. Bye.